Good day, everyone. I'm back with the moon astrology for Monday, November 13th. So, lucky number 13. You know, some people see it as unlucky, but in my belief system, it is absolutely not unlucky. We're entering a period of lucky, albeit karmic dates, karmic lesson dates coming up. Moon in Virgo until 7 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States. That's, our general sign for the day for those of us in the U.S. that we're going to be going through some transitions because later on after 7 p.m. tonight, the moon is going to transit over into Libra. Let me break all this down for you. Scorpios. Any of you that are Scorpios. Anyone that has major aspects in Scorpio, if your moon sign or your ascendant is in Scorpio, is your birthday this week. That's the other thing. Luckiest, life-changing week possibly of the year. There's some tough aspects that are going to happen. There's some squares, but there's a lot of trines, a lot of conjuncts, a lot of very unique, good aspects that are going to be happening with the planets. Today also, I wanted to cover this before I get into the whole rest of all the transits and conjuncts and what's going on. Great day to quit something. Moon in Virgo, decreasing moon, heading toward the new moon. This is a fantastic time. Great energy to commit to quitting something. Till about 7 p.m. tonight. So set your plan quickly, obviously, your intention, and then act on it. Maybe say goodbye to whatever it is. Like write it down. Really put your heart and soul into what it is that you mean that you're letting go of here, what you're quitting or getting rid of. Burn it. Totally let it go. Just, get rid of it. But keep acting. And I've got on my notes here, do, in giant letters, exclamation points. If you fall down, get back on that horse. Never quit quitting. I just want to say, too, sorry about my voice. I'm still struggling with this cold. It's been a little crazy. And hopefully I make it through this video without a coughing fit or a sneezing fit or all that. So what I want to ask you with Moon and Virgo, especially Moon and Virgo wrapping up here, and some of the sextiles and squares that have happened, since last night, I'll say all the way back to Friday, last night into this morning. Do you feel and see the changes, the shift? Are you sensing something inside? The energy is heavy, yet light and electric all at the same time. All right, we're continuing this period of huge, intense shifts and important planetary aspects. Like there's some really big planetary aspects that are happening, which are going to continue through late December and into 2018. And like I mentioned in some of my other videos, some of these things, like, Jupiter and Scorpio, it's going to be there until November of next year. And those energies are, absolutely going to carry on. So a lot of the vibe that you're hearing, spirit, a lot of the vibe that you're getting right now is certainly going to continue on a march forward. This is a slow, steady progress to where you're meant to be, and you'll certainly end up where you're meant to be. You may not be able to see it right now. It may seem like, the sky is falling for some people. So 7 p.m. today, after all this Virgo vibe is over with, everything's going to shift from Virgo. The moon's going to enter into Libra. What Virgo has meant and was intended to show you and wants to show you is what's going on with complete honesty, clarity. Since it's the moon functions through your emotions. It would be functioning largely through your intuition, the feelings that you have toward people. If the feelings that you have toward people are very ambivalent or negative even, angering, agitated, that kind of stuff, pay attention to those messages. Your feelings are happening for a reason. I mean, as always, regardless of astrology or any of that, just listen to yourself. And don't make excuses for it either. So Moon and Virgo wanted to show you what's going on with absolute clarity and to get you to take that clarity then out of that intuition and that understanding and take action. Make plans. Show you, another intention was to show you with clarity, and this is kind of in respect to some of the squares that are happening, and the squares that have been happening since Saturday, and squares that are going to continue into tonight, just before Moon goes into Libra. Show you with clarity who you can trust and who you can't. Trust your gut, trust your intuition. I can't urge everybody that enough, and that, like I said, this is a long-term energy where you're going to really need to center yourself, calm, stay out of your head. I mean, in the thinking space, and follow your spirit and intuition more. So your intuition about people, places, things, all of it, you really need to be listening to, because you're getting messages from the universe, essentially, helping to shift you in the right direction. So for those of you, too, that are watching this, like, yeah, you're nuts, I haven't felt anything, there's nothing going on. If you haven't felt the change yet, or it has been start-stop, or you have an idea where you're going, but you're still confused about what that end product is going to look like, what it's going to feel like, where it's going to be, who it's going to be with, who it's not going to be with, that kind of stuff, that's okay. Perfectly okay. Jupiter in Scorpio isn't wishy-washy. As Jupiter marches on through its degrees, through the rest of November, into December especially, it's going to happen. It absolutely will happen. And on top of it, you will figure it out. For those of you that are a little bit confused and everything seems to kind of be going back and forth, trust in the process. Listen to yourself. You're going to figure it out. All that Jupiter in Scorpio changes. So everything that Jupiter in Scorpio is molding and changing and shifting right now is irreversible. And that can sound scary. Some of these endings, hearing that these endings are irreversible, it's like, oh my God, what if I don't make the right choice? And, is this what's really meant for me? And how do I know? And oh my God, and oh my God. Death for new beginnings. Focus on the new beginning. Some things always have to come to an end. Doors have to close for another to open. All those cliches. The reason that Jupiter in Scorpio makes these changes in such a irreversible way with such finality has to do with destined changes. Really, with what is going on with the planets right now, the karmic wheel is turning here for sure. All that no longer serves you is gonna fall away. Hopefully your decision-making processes help that along in a positive way and make it to where it's not too tough on you. And hopefully these are things that you want to do. But, for the people that haven't made the choices of what they want to do, or they can't quite figure it out, sometimes it might happen in a kind of messy way, but you'll end up where you need to be, no matter what. Jupiter in Scorpio is going to see to it. Things that were once impossible become possible. Things that you never would have considered, even a month ago, especially not a year or two ago, will suddenly become an option. All of the changes are going to be for the better. Like I said, some people may not be able to see that right now. Some people may not be feeling anything right now. There's a lot of people that might be experiencing, dead end, stuck energies, or not really feeling very much going on, but it's gonna kick in here. It's certainly doing it this week. Any of you that have birthdays this week, Scorpios, look out. It's definitely likely to get fairly lively in one respect or another. Sunday's moon square Mercury. So yesterday, here in the United States. And the moon square Saturn this evening today. Assure that you know who you can trust and who you can't. You have to follow your gut. You are getting messages about things, or, certain situations or coincidences present themselves that, when you woke up, you certainly didn't imagine your day going that way, but Things are happening and evolving to show you what you need to know. So especially if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling those dead end energies, always listen to your intuition. Feel that gut, feel that little energy in your chest, or, sometimes it can go all the way through, like that body stinger, like when something hits you so strongly and it's so wrong. Never ignore any of that. Act on it, because transformation is coming. There's this giant mass right now of all the big planets. The inner planets, the outer planets are kind of off in this one area in the sky. It's like one quarter, so they're all kind of jammed together. That's part of the power of this. It's super, super, super strong energies right now. Very rarely do the planets come together in this respect, in such a tight cluster, making these tight aspects. They're very much on a unified purpose, basically, with everything this close together. And in the particular signs and aspects that they are, the moon, as it is transiting over the course of these past few months and continuing into 2018, is perfectly in synchronicity to unlock, allowing the positive energies of the positive star signs to come in. And it's also perfectly aligned too that the negative star signs, and it doesn't mean, I'm not calling any one of any particular sign negative. I'm not going to get into that, but there's always a negative and positive quality to half of the star signs are a negative quality. Half of the star signs are a positive quality. So when it goes into those negative ones, the planets are actually lining up in a way that allows those energies to transcend really well, to create change for some of the people that need those energies to move them along. Some people need that. Other people respond to the positive aspects of, this is super great, so I'm going to go there. Not, this is really wrong and I don't want to be here. Pay attention to... Okay, let me take a step back here. Moon in Libra, 7 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time, U.S. onwards will be more about truth. Libra has to do, Libra's the scales. It has to do with justice, truth. And they very much are good at seeing the gray area, everything in between. So really, really seeing the truth with clarity. But it's going to have a lot to do this particular time with inner truth, especially since the moon is unlocking those energies, especially coming in from some of the outer planets. Pay attention to any impatience that you might feel, any impatient mood that you have, or impatience with people, and let that guide you. Because right now everybody, is trying to transform, and a lot of people have some idea where it is that they're going, what they want to do, but they feel like it's just not happening fast enough. Like the universe is conspiring against you. It's not. It's just making sure everything in divine timing. Everything is going to happen when it's intended to. Some people have already seen some huge changes, and they're in the process of even more. And some people, it's just beginning to kick off. They might just now have some idea that something needs to change. Pay attention to synchronicity, signs, number messages. Like I was saying before, this is a long-term energy. I'm not saying only today. Pay attention to synchronicity and signs. Increasingly, more and more so through, for sure, around December 20th. But I mean, even longer than that, like really throughout the entire year with Jupiter and Scorpio, all the way into November 2018. Certainly, stop, pay attention to, song on the radio. You see a certain number in the time that means something to you, a certain number in your total where you went, things like that. There's many examples of this. You see a specific bird or that kind of thing. Any messages and synchronicities, make sure you pay attention to. Feel what it is that you are supposed to feel out of that. Excuse me. Pay attention to coincidences. The squares are making some people very irritable as well. And this is an energy more so of today. The combination of the square on Saturday and the combination of the square this evening might make you annoyed with stuff. It might make you super irritable with things. The purpose behind this is to motivate you to make a change. Some people need the push via discomfort and dissatisfaction to decide to move and act, and to help them figure out what it is that the issue is, what they need to change, what they like as well, what needs to stay. If you're super irritated with this, but you realize that makes you then realize that something is very good, helping you figure out your next move, basically. Moon in Libra is a super stark difference. It's a big contrast between the energies of Moon and Virgo. So for those of us in the States where we're going through this transition during our day, it's happening around 7 p.m. And of course you have the Moon void of course time leading up to it. I actually didn't check how long that is with this particular transit as it goes over, but the Moon void of course times can make you seem, it makes you feel sometimes very, very emotionally volatile. It can bring up things that, it's like stuff just comes up out of the deep and you just get, angry or crappy sometimes, or it can bring on sadness. It can bring on many, many different things. So during that time frame, while it's changing over between, depending on where you are in the world, 5 p.m. and probably all the way to around 7:30, expect maybe some upheaval, especially with the squares going to be going down, might cause some irritability. But be with yourself in that. Feel it. Work through it. Understand what it is that your higher self and your spirit is trying to tell you in that. So as far as this huge energetic contrast, there's a big difference between Virgo energies and Libra energies. Libra is what's considered one of those positive star signs. The huge energetic difference has to do with showing you a contrast between positive and negative in your life. And that can be in people, situations, everything and anything. Today and tomorrow. So tomorrow, when we're really firmly Tuesday into the Libra energies, tomorrow might feel like night and day between today. I'm going to have to cut this off here and make a part 2 because I ran out of time on my camera here. I will be back with part 2 in a minute. I hope to see you there. Thank you. Bye.